What is going on, guys? This is Nick from Evilshred Fitness. Welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be going through my bulking phase and what I eat to try and bulk up. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, here we are. So I've just done a Lidl shop. I went as cheap as I possibly could, and this is what I bought to help me bulk up. So, first of all, I'm going to go through the fruits and vegetables because they are very important for general health and you want to basically feel good when you're trying to bulk up. So, I would recommend eating fruits and vegetables. Bananas especially, a high calorie fruit as well, which is quite rare in the fruit and vegetable section. So, bananas are about 100 calories per banana. And greens as well. I got some spinach for my vitamin A and my broccoli for, I want to say vitamin C mainly, I don't know. But they're healthy for you, obviously. And I also got some fruit and nut mix for work as well, so I can snack on these throughout the day. And I can snack on these at home as well. They're great for bulking up, but they're also a protein source as well. And because they're dried fruit, they're pretty healthy for you as well. So yeah, I got some of those. Whole chia seeds, these are great. I add these to my cereals and also to my smoothies. They just add a little bit of calories, and chia seeds are really good for you as well. Any kind of seed is really good for you. Then we've got soya milk. I drink a lot of soya, and it's I like it. I like drinking it as a base for my smoothies. Next, we're going to move on to Greek yogurt. I got the low-fat one this time just because it has a higher concentration of protein in it. It is complete protein because it's a dairy source, and it's kind of delicious as well. I have it with oats and defrosted fruit, so typically tropical smoothie mix. And that's a pretty delicious dessert. And obviously the bulk of my carbohydrates, fusilli, pasta. This is really good for bulking up. I tend to have a lot of this with my meals. Very high in carbohydrates, very high in calories. Then next we've got tomato pasta, or sorry, tomato passata, or however you pronounce that. That is basically tinned tomatoes, but in a jar instead. This will be the base of a lot of my meals. I'll typically combine it with pasta as well. And I'll have that with chickpeas and beans. This time I got kidney beans. These are amazing for muscle building because A, they're cheap, so you can get a lot of these things if you're like a student and you're really poor like me. I'm not a student, but I am really poor. And chickpeas as well. These are really high in vitamins and minerals, and they're pretty good protein source as well, carb source as well, and they're kind of delicious as well when you combine them with sauces and stuff. So I tend to get a lot of these cans, beans, chickpeas, all these legume type things. And yeah, that's kind of what I bought today. An extra thing that I should mention is I also get my chicken breast fillets frozen as well because they last longer. And sometimes I'll get frozen vegetables. And if you are struggling to meet your caloric goals, which is often the case with me because I am exceptionally skinny and need to eat loads and loads and loads of calories, Choco Brownie ice lollies are delicious, definitely worth having some of those. There's nothing wrong with having an unhealthy snack time to time. I have them quite a lot now, just because I really need to try and get as much calories into my body as I can, and it's very hard to do it on a clean diet. So, and we've also got frozen salmon fillets as well. Salmon is great, obviously, for the fish oils, and very high in protein, so definitely worth investing in those. They're a bit expensive, but it's not too bad. £4 for a pack that'll last a little while. I'll also get a lot of peanut butter as well, because peanut butter is delicious on toast, and it's also high in calories as well. It's not too bad for you, and it just gives me a little bulk of fats and protein as well, so it's pretty good for you. Then for adding extra deliciousness to my meals, to make them not so boring, I'll add things like paprika, onion granules, and garlic granules as well. Saves me having to cut it up myself. And mixed herbs as well is a good one. And then of course, don't forget rice as well. So rice, this is the long grain brown rice. Sometimes I'll get the white one as well, it just doesn't really matter. There's not a huge difference between these different rices. I know some are better for you than others, but it doesn't really make a difference to me. So I tend to eat a lot of rice. I typically make a lot of my meals throughout the week for work with rice, and then I freeze it afterwards. So that kind of works for me as well as an inexpensive source of carbohydrates and basically calories. And finally, oats as well. Oats are, as you probably already are aware, very nutritional source of carbohydrates and protein. They're not a complete protein, but if you combine it with milk or something like that, they are really good for you. And they're a great pre-workout source as well, because they provide all the energy that you need for your workout and glycogen and stuff. So yeah. And then this is my holy grail of my diet. So olive oil is delicious. I love adding it to my meals, and I'll typically put a lot of it in my meals, or quite a lot of it in my meals. So olive oil, especially the extra virgin olive oil, is loaded with monosaccharate and polysaturated fats. These are really good for you in the long run. You want to avoid anything like trans fats and limit your saturated fats, but this kind of has none of that in it. It's all really healthy sources of fat, and a lot of your diet, especially if you're bulking up, needs to comprise of fats anyway. I think it's about 25% or something like that. So yeah, I get a lot of my fat sources from this extra virgin olive oil. It's quite expensive, but it does last quite a long time. So it's definitely worth investing in, even if you're poor like me. So there you have it, guys. That is my typical diet for the week. The goal at the end of the day is obviously to be as cheap as possible and as nutritionally dense and as calorically dense as possible. I will also complement my diet with whey protein, which you can see that one up there, whey protein. I'll have that at least once a day as well, typically after my workouts, and I'll combine that with like oats or bananas as a carbohydrate source to replenish the glycogen that I lost during my workout. So that's kind of what I eat and drink throughout the day, every day, to try and bulk up. My goal is to eat about 3,600 to 3,800 calories a day, which really sucks. It's really not fun to do, but it is a requirement if I'm trying to build muscle. Next, I'm going to go through what I'm doing in the gym. So that's the nutrition side of it. Let's go to my bedroom and I'll show you what I've been doing in the gym. Let's go. Alright, so as you may or may not already know from previous vlogs, I've been utilising the 5 sets of 5 strength training regimen. Now, for the first few weeks, I made a lot of progress, as you can see, with my 6 main compound lifts, and I made my way down the page quite quickly, making progress each week. But in previous weeks, I kind of slowed down. I don't know why this might be. I think it's probably because I'm not eating enough. But you could probably see, strangely, I've been making progress with my deadlift. The deadlift is now up to 80 kilos for the first set, followed by 4 sets of 75 kilos. When I first started, on 6th of May, I was just doing 70 each time. So that's quite a lot of progress there. And when I look at it, and on hindsight, I have made a lot of progress with all of my lifts. For example, bench press, I went from 22 kilos for 5 sets, all the way down from 6th of May, all the way down to 30th of June, doing 24 kilos for each set. I'm trying to get that first set up to 26 kilos, but they're so damn heavy, the dumbbells, the 26 kilos. So that's been a real struggle. I haven't been able to make any progress since the 30th of June, and now we're in the 5th of August, so I'm going to the gym tonight. Hopefully, maybe with a bit of luck, I can make some progress. Same with shoulder press. I've gone from 30 kilos each time for 5 sets of 5 from the 6th of May, made my way all the way up to 35 kilos for the first set, followed by 32.5 for the other sets. So that's quite a big step, but again, that's 30th of June. I haven't made any gains since then, so I'm looking to try and increase that as I try and eat more again and get back on the nutrition. Squats is kind of a dead end for me. I injured my knee, so I can't do heavy squats at the moment. I kind of have to take that off the bench for now. So I'm kind of doing some light exercises just to try and get back in the game again. But I have to be really careful with squats because of my knees, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Everyone gets injuries from time to time. So So I'm going to randomly finish off this vlog with 5 push-ups that I've been doing lately. So to start with, I always do your regular handstand push-up, and I will typically tie this in with a bunch of other variations of the exercise, which I'll be doing here. You can see I'm going all the way down to the bottom and then locking my arms out, or near locking my arms out at the top to try and get a full range of motion. Now I'm moving on to the Spider-Man push-ups. I love the Spider-Man push-ups because they demand quite a lot of core stabilization. And they kind of look weird as well. I really like doing them, but they feel kind of weird if you're not used to doing them. But they're definitely worth doing. And next we move on to the diamond push-up, or the close hand position push-up. So this is a tricep dominant exercise, and it really will burn the triceps, especially if you do a lot of these in a row. So I would typically do these interchangeably with the regular handstand, with the regular push-ups. And the next push-up I like to do is the elbow to hand push-up. So this is kind of more of a variation of the plank. If you do a lot of planks and you kind of get bored doing them because they're such a stationary exercise and you want something a little harder, this is kind of what I'd call a step up from that. So it's kind of like you assume the push-up position, but then you go down into the elbow and you really do get a lot of core work on the core. So it's really tough if you do a lot of these in a row. I started doing a lot of them lately. And finally, if you got a pair of parallettes, then the deep push-up. So this is really good because it stimulates more, or it activates more of your chest and tricep muscles, because you're getting more of a range of motion as you go deeper into the exercise. If you don't have parallettes, you can do these on anything really, bricks, whatever you've got lying around. So that is the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So I'll catch you guys in the next video for another action-packed, fitness-filled vlog. See you later.